Hey y'all. Hey y'all, welcome to my channel and welcome back if you're returning. I wanted to give a quick update on my dating, and then I wanted to dig into a topic I feel like the girlies need to know to prevent themselves from coming across or falling prey to another toxic or abusive man. So, you guys, I have been chatting with this guy, I'll say about a week. And when I tell you, by day two, it went from I'm no longer interested and you're now a case study, baby. The mirroring was heavy. Okay, y'all. So first start talking to the gentleman, right? And one of the things that okay, y'all. So started talking to this guy. I'll say met him online, y'all. Y'all know how I feel about online. It's a love-hate relationship right now. But I started talking to the guy, and within, I'll say about, it was first day, y'all. First day, I'll say sentence three or four. I noticed the mirroring. Okay. But I gave grace to it being the first. It just kind of like, I'm going to say set my alarm off, but it did make me a little more aware of what could possibly be happening right now. So, young man sent me a message and he said that he does a podcast. And y'all know how I feel about podcasts. Everybody that has a mic don't need a mic. And that could include me. Okay. Don't cut mine off though. Like as Jesse said, cut everybody mic off but mine. Anyway, you guys. He says that he is doing a podcast. I mean that he does a podcast. And so I said, "Oh, what is the podcast about?" Homeboy said, "The difficulties of dating in DC." Now, y'all, I said, being me, okay? I said that, tread lightly with that topic because, I think sometimes people have positive intent with these relationship podcasts, but more times often than not, they do more harm than good. It's really just like trauma dumping, triggering people's trauma, salacious things being put out. But they'll take one negative position and make that the word of all men or the word of all women, right? And because some of us have experienced those very murky waters that will have some fucked up women in it, will have some fucked up men in it. It just validates our trauma and prevents us from moving forward, right? That's just my take on it. I'll dig more later into the whole why. Hopefully I'll get that video done today. Why I quit listening to podcasts, right? So anyway, I responded to him, like I said, with a tread lightly with that. Sometimes it does more harm than good. I don't particularly love relationship podcasts. Given my spiel, this is my point of view. This is what serves me. If this is his purpose and he's rooted in it, by all means, have at it, right? But stand 10 toes down on it if that's what you want to do. He did not. Immediately he responded with, "Oh, well, not necessarily just relationship. It's some interviews for the alumni at my school, and I do interviews for the Hall of Fame. That's actually what I got going on now. Two totally different spectrums, guys." So at this point, I'm like, let me go back and make sure I read this properly. Because how we get here from this man just now saying he did relationship podcasts, right? So that was sign number one. Fast forward, you guys. He sends me a picture of an event that he went to for a singles group. And I said, "Oh, I'm a part of that singles group too. I have never been to any of their events. However, I'm probably about to get out of it soon because it feels like a trauma dumping ground, right? There's really no mingling, there's really no connections. And be honest, most of the people who have responded to the group saying, I found my one, I'm out. They didn't find their one in that group. It's like trigger post after trigger post after trigger post, and it continues to kind of foster the divide between men and women. And so I was like, yeah, I'm about to get out of it, whatever. Y'all, he responds back with, oh, yeah, I was in and out. Number two. This is by day two, by the way. This is day two. Oh, yeah, I was in and out. I stayed there for and then double down on it. I stayed there for 30 minutes and then I was out. Okay, maybe. But you was interested enough to buy a ticket and go to the event, which he probably spent more than the 30 minutes there. Okay. I think he just said that because of my response. Again, the mirroring of it all. He also said that the women were attention seekers and the men were lost. So it's two parts to this. The first one was okay. And this is why I don't do the podcasting. His response told me, you are definitely a podcast. I got a mic, and everything I say is going to be further to assist in this divide of men and women. I responded with, well, the men also seek attention. And he responds, he agrees. And you'll learn later when we discuss how people mirror. Agreeing with things that you say is an example. Fast forward, you guys. We were talking about something. I can't remember exactly what we were talking about. And he was like, see, we're compatible. We're compatible. We could just head to the courthouse tomorrow. Knowing that he was partially joking, I do believe that it was somewhat of a joke for him, but I also believe that he was baiting. He was baiting to see how I was going to respond, to test how much locked in I was with this situation with him, which has been little to nothing, by the way. And so I responded to him and said, I'm not chasing a ring. I'm not looking for a ring. I've been there, done that. What I'm looking for is rooted in connection and alignment, right? And he says, oh, I was just joking. And who said anything about a ring? Baby, I said you will be stood up. Just know you would have been stood up. um anyway, y'all, that's just a little bit of what I have been witnessing. As I said, and this is probably very toxic of me. I'm gonna keep it a buck. You gotta go to think a thing, and I'm not gonna act like I'm exempt from toxic behavior, you guys. But I pretty much checked out day two with this guy, but I held in there because it became a case study to me, y'all. I was really in a place where now it's like I'm using it. I'm using the moment to learn more about mirroring. Um, I know the basics, but that doesn't mean he won't drop more on me now that I'm fully aware that's what this is, right? Um, so I kind of just wanted to talk to you guys. That's my little tea about my experience in mirroring and what brought me here today to discuss with what brought me here today to discuss with you guys not only the signs and how to pick up on it, how to protect yourself from it, and why these motherfuckers do this shit, okay? Because it can seem very harmless. I know it seems very, oh, he's just trying to impress me. Oh, he's just trying to, um, well, let's be honest, right? Impressing is one thing. Faking a personality for the sake of faking a connection is very concerning. And more than likely the intent is nothing positive, okay? So we're not going to get into the insecurities of not being comfortable with who you are. We're not going to get into that aspect because we'll be here all day. But let's get into, let me put my little notes up, y'all. Let's get into the mirroring of it all. Because we know we dope as shit, but we don't want nobody. I need my man to be a man. You should not be trying to be an ebony. Like, pick somebody else. Okay, so y'all, that's what I want to tell him. Pick somebody else, baby. You have no clue. He knows that I have a YouTube and I have not sent him to my YouTube. And this is why. Because sometimes I be needing to talk about these men. And as much as I would like to just pointed oh, real quick, before I get into the details of this, another reason why I have not brought it up to him is because he does not give me the vibe. Well, I ain't gonna say we're probably a little too far along in him thinking that this is good for me to just ghost him and he's gonna want an explanation. And I'm not sure it would be received or that I want to say, sir, it's a no for me because you're mirroring. I don't know. I really wish I could drop it on him, but I don't know that it would be received. Okay. Also, I really don't want nobody moving, um, which is part of this as well. I don't want nobody moving inauthentically. You know what I'm saying? Be you, let me sort out the rest. Be you, let me figure out if you for me or if you're not for me. Be you, let me figure out if we align or not, right? Which is another reason I do not give the whole this is what I'm looking for when it comes to specific details of a man. I will say I'm looking for authentic connection. I am saying someone that I can grow and evolve with and they can grow and evolve with me, but I am not giving specifics in regards to the type of man that I'm looking for. Because let's be honest, you can't be that. I have to see that. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, y'all, let's get into it. So mirroring. Mirroring is someone mirroring is when someone mimics your personality, your body language, your interests, your hobby, your slang, your lingo. You know, essentially, let's think single white female, but a male. Yeah, yeah, that's what we doing. Okay. Um, the ways that they will mirror you. Okay. The ways they mirror you. Number one, they'll agree with everything you say. Everything you say. It's a me too. You know, listen, y'all. I got a 4-year-old. I have a 4-year-old girl, and it's me too, me too, me too, me too to everything. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. When everything you like this, me too. You this your favorite food, me too. You like to go to this place on vacation, me too. You like this is your favorite restaurant, me too. Concerning, concerning. Okay. Like there's we're all individuals. There's not enough. There's no we're all individuals. There's no way in hell you have that much in common with any particular person. Okay. Fast track bonding. They claim to have the same life experiences and values. Like they read your diary or something. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dang, how he know that? Real connections take time. If they're revealing too much too soon, slow down and observe. That is your cue to pay more attention. Because you cannot pay that much attention if you're moving fast. Don't fast track anything. Don't let nobody fast track anything. If you feel like you're being fast tracked, slow that shit down and pay attention. Um, Excessive flattering. They putting you up on a pedestal too soon, too early. They don't know you. You've not invested in their life. And when I say invested in your life, because we're not coming with no coins, y'all. We're not spending our money. But what we're doing is when we found a man who aligns with us, who has invested in us, our investment is to make his life easier. Our investment is to help him grow in some form. Our investment is to show how his life can be different with us. Okay. So again, this is after he's invested in you. But nonetheless, do not allow excessive flattering. Excessive flattering. Okay. So like they're calling you their soulmates. They're calling you the twin flame. All of this after a week or two. Even a month. Like that's all too soon for me. Okay. That's not love. It's manipulation in disguise. Don't let nobody put yourself on a pedestal, of course, right? But don't let nobody else put you on a pedestal when it does not align with the timing in which. How do you think I'm amazing, sir, and you've known me for 2 weeks? Lack of depth. Okay, so these said hobbies they have in common with you, right? Interests, TV shows, movies, books. If during further discussion, it them speaking about these said passions that they so called have in alignment with you, they don't speak about it with depth. They're mirroring you. Echo and language. So, like I said before, repeating your phrases, using your slang, it's all manipulation to make you, it's all manipulation to make you feel like you have a closer alignment there. Um, Convenient timing. So one minute you say you love a favorite book, I mean a book, and all of a sudden he knows everything about this book. To the point of quoting things from either a TV show that you said you liked, a movie. Um, it's not coincidence, it's a tactic. Too much eye contact. So yes, eye contact is romantic. Eyes are the windows to the soul. However, y'all know when you have that creepy guy who's just like, and you sitting there like, what's going on? Excessive eye contact. Intense staring paired with matching body language is manipulation 101. Um, Shifting personalities. If their vibe changes depending on who they're with, they're not authentic. You're seeing a performance, not a person. So y'all already know if he with his homeboys and his energy, we know the basic. Like obviously he's not going to act the same way with his homeboys as he would act in front of his coworkers, right? But if you ever notice, like a set of homeboys, he's the other way, or he shows up differently with you than he does around the people he know. Shifting personalities. Okay, overly agreeable. We talked about this. We talked about them agreeing with everything we say. I'm not saying you want somebody who rebuts everything you say or that it's a debate, baby, because I'm not one to debate. Okay, I will be like, I said what I said. Next topic, right? If they're overly agreeable, there's nothing to learn here. You shouldn't want it just for that. You don't want a situation where it's like you can learn from so much from me, but I can't learn from you, right? So again, that's a no. Last but not least, your intuition, your gut feeling will tell you something is not right. This is not a time to be delusional. This is not a time to be delusional. We heard the yin and the yang. Your soulmate is not necessarily your twin. So don't think that um so don't get on this high horse and you meet a guy and you feel like, oh, he's so perfect. He matches everything. Oh, this would be so great. You know, we tend to the point of missing that this person is mirroring you and you could be in danger. Okay, so why do they use these tactics? Why is mirroring used? Because from the outside looking in, you would think it's something that's a little harmless, like, oh, this man might be insecure. And so, he wants to show his best foot. And the way to do that, he feels, is to like the things I like, right? He's trying to make a connection, so he uses the slang I use. And I'm not going to hold y'all. It's been times that I may use a word that a guy used, but in a jokingly manner, just to be like, I paid attention. This is what you would say, ha ha ha, funny, right? Not adopting his lingo as mine. So there's a very thin line there. So let's get into why toxic people use mirroring. First is to build trust quickly. They reflect your values and your emotions to make you feel safe. It's a shortcut to trust, but it's not real. Number two, they identify your weaknesses. They're not just listening, they're collecting data, something that us women don't do enough. Dating is for collecting data. Insecurities, fears, and desires, they'll all use it against you later. Less talking, more listening. Um, they use it to establish control. By acting like they're like you, they're lowering your defenses and making you feel connected, but it's a trap. We all know, like, it is human nature to say, oh, this person seems so much like me. For sure, they're not going to move like this because I wouldn't. It's your natural instinct to do so. And it's to accelerate intimacy. They fast track emotional closeness to bypass your boundaries. Real intimacy takes time. You do not know that man in a week or two or three. I don't care how much you think you do. They use it to shape your perception of them. So while they're mirroring you, they're able to mask and hide all the negative things that you should be seeing about them. They use it to secure emotional investment. So when we say emotional investment, it means as you share your dreams and your goals, they find ways to implement themselves in those dreams and they found ways to align their dreams and goals with yours so that as you view your future, as you manifest these things, it feels as though they're a part of those particular set goals. That it starts to feel as though as you manifest these things, naturally you'll manifest them within these goals and dreams. It is a manipulation tactic, not commitment. Picking back on to shape your perception, they also do it to avoid detection. So same rule applies. They as long as they're mirroring you, they're not showing up as them and you're not catching these red flags that you should be. That is a representation of who this person is, their toxic ways and their abusive ways. They use it to manipulate emotion. Once you're hooked, they stop mirroring it and they replace it with confusion and criticism. And by then, you're kind of trapped in this cycle. Trust me. If you can prevent getting trapped in a cycle, which is why I'm doing this video, it's important. It's going to be the easiest way. Getting out once you're in is hella hard. To manipulate your emotions. Once they got you hooked, they stop mirroring you. They replace that with criticism and confusion, leaving you questioning yourself. This is the beginning stages of how they trap you in. Last but not least, they use it to maintain power. The connection they built with you through mirroring, they'll use to keep you. The connection they built, the connection they built through mirroring, they will use to trap you. The connection they built with you through mirroring, they will use to keep you tied down and trapped in this relationship when things turn toxic. So, revisiting this topic one more time, how they use mirroring. They'll copy your interests. They'll claim they love things. They'll claim they love your favorite things, but can't explain why. They'll echo and comp. So, wrapping this up, let's get into how they mirror you. Let's go over these things again of how they mirror you and what you can do to prevent it. So, number one, they're copying your interests. They claim that all the favorite things are now theirs, and they can't even explain why. Echoing compliments. They flatter you by saying you're so generous like me, but it's manipulation, not admiration. Body language. They mimic your gestures. They mimic your gestures to they mimic your gestures. They mimic your gestures and your slang to create a subconscious bond. Future promises. They align their dreams and goals with yours to sell a fake future. Empathy fiending. They pretend to share your struggles, your experiences, and your morals, but it's all calculated. So, 4 quick tips on how to protect yourself against mirroring. Trust actions over words, always. Hear him because you need to know what he's saying, but pay attention to what actions actually align with what he's saying. Number 2, give relationship time to reveal authenticity. We should not be moving fast. We should not know that we want this person 3 months in. I don't care what anyone's telling you. There are some very, very amazing love stories that happen very quick. We can't afford to take that chance. And number 3, set boundaries and stick to them. You should always have non-negotiables. Do not start dating if you do not have non-negotiables. You should actually have a dating bill of rights that include those non-negotiable things that you will not budge on, whether you like this man or not. Don't wait until you get in your feelings to start deciding what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do. This should be concrete. And last but not least, listen to your gut. It's your best guide. If you're not feeling great about it, it's a reason. Whether you know exactly why or not, it's a reason. And I need you to unapologetically stand in that. So, y'all, that is my tips and my quick story time on my with mirroring. Shit's crazy. You're a grown man. These grown men should have a mind of their own, of their own, morals of their own, experiences of their own, slang of their own, personalities of their own. And if they don't, baby, you don't need no one else who has yours. So, um, if they don't, I don't know what to tell you. He ain't the one, sis. It's just something. He's not the one, sis. So anyway, until next time, you guys. So anyway, you guys, I am trying to hit my 4,000 watch hours for monetization. And I hope this video helped someone who is out here dating, because baby, it is murky waters. But we're gonna be all right, because the more we know, the more we know. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, you guys, I'm trying to get this channel monetized. These 4,000 watch hours are whipping my ass. Do me a favor, like the video, subscribe, and hit the notification button so you don't miss my next video. Until next time, love yourself, protect your energy, and deal with life's bullshit with grace and gratitude.